Shri Guruho Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurum Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathan Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sakitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padam Sahagana Radhika Shri Vishakan Vitamscha Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prashtaya Bhutale Shri Made Bhakti Vedanta Swami Nidhinamini Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Jaya Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Thank you for joining in on this weekly weekend wisdom sessions, wherein we are going to introduce you to Bhagavad Gita and the treasures of the Bhagavad Gita. So today's evening, we are going to be discussing from chapter 4, the very famous chapter called Transcendental Knowledge, and 13th shloka from chapter 4. So for those of you who have got the Bhagavad Gita with you or are looking into the screen on an online Bhagavad Gita version of Prabhupada, the shloka is chapter 4, text 13. So I will chant this along as usual 2 times, and then I will request all of you also to join in. And we'll go line by line and then we'll go together, okay, as usual. Again, welcome to all of you. Hare Krishna. Text 13 of chapter 4, entitled Transcendental Knowledge. Chaturvarnyam maya srishtam gunakarma vibhagashah tasya kartaram apimam vidya kartaram avyayam. Chaturvarnyam maya srishtam guna karma vibhagashah tasya kartaram apimam vidya kartaram avyayam. So please repeat line after line when I chant. Chaturvarnyam maya srishtam guna karma vibhagashah tasya kartaram abhimam kartaram avyayam. Chaturvarnyam maya srishtam nakarma vibhagashah tasya kartaram abhimam vidhyakartaram avyayam. Yes, we got it. Now we will all do it together once. 1, 2, 3.
Chaturvarnyam maya srishtam karma vibhagashah kartaram abhimam kartaram avyayam.
Great, wonderful. Once more. 1, 2.
Chaturvarnyam maya srishtam karma vibhagashah kartaram abhimam vidhyakartaram avyayam.
Very good. Wonderful. That was good chanting. I'm going to read the word-to-word translations also today. Chatu Varnyam, the 4 divisions of human society. Maya, created. Guna, of quality. Karma, and work. Vibhagashaha, in terms of division. Tasya, of that. Kartaram, the father. Api, although. Mam, me. Vidhi, you may know. Akartaram, as the non-doer. Avyayam, unchangeable. So, Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhakti Vedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada Ki. Translation. According to the three modes of material nature and the work associated with them, the four divisions of human society are created by me. And although I am the creator of this system, you should know that I am yet the non-doer, being unchangeable. Purport. The Lord is the creator of everything. Everything is born of Him. Everything is sustained by Him. Everything after annihilation rests in Him. He is therefore the creator of the four divisions of the social order, beginning with the intelligent class of men, technically called Brahmanas due to their being situated in the mode of goodness. Next is the administrative class, technically called the Kshatriyas due to their being situated in the mode of passion. The mercantile men called the Vaishyas are situated in the mixed modes of passion and ignorance. And the Shudras or labor class are situated in the ignorant mode of material nature. In spite of His creating the four divisions of human society, Lord Krishna does not belong to any of these divisions because He is not one of the conditioned souls, a section of whom form human society. Human society is similar to any other animal society, but to elevate men from the animal status, the above-mentioned divisions are created by the Lord for the systematic development of Krishna consciousness. The tendency of a particular man towards work is determined by the modes of material nature which he has acquired. Such symptoms of life according to the different modes of material nature are described in the 18th chapter of this book. A person in Krishna consciousness, however, is above even the Brahmanas. Although Brahmanas by quality are supposed to know about Brahman, the supreme absolute truth, most of them approach only the impersonal Brahman manifestations of Lord Krishna. But a man who transcends the limited knowledge of a Brahmana and reaches the knowledge of the Supreme Personality of God, Lord Sri Krishna, becomes a person in Krishna consciousness, or in other words, a Vaishnava. Krishna consciousness includes knowledge of all different plenary expansions of Krishna, namely Rama, Nrsimha, Varaha, etc. And as Krishna is transcendental to the system of the four divisions of human society, a person in Krishna consciousness is also transcendental to all divisions of human society, whether we consider the divisions of community, nation, or species. Om Tat Sat. Om Jnanatimidandhasya Jnananjanashalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namah. Nama Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Prashtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swaminiti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Jaya Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Right, thank you. Nice to see all of you here again. The Kartik Mass is over and the storm has come and is going, and the cold season everywhere is already brimming in, and people are getting warmer with warmer clothing. But we continue discussing the Bhagavad Gita week after week, adding to a repertoire of wisdom that we are gaining from this, from the words and the pages of Bhagavad Gita as it is by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhakti Vedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. So it's my great pleasure to introduce to you the purports of Srila Prabhupada and try to offer some little explanation and discussion in this matter. This is a very important shloka. Chatur Varnyam Maya Srishtam. Maya Srishtam. I created it. Srishti means creation. Maya means me. Maya Srishtam. I created it. Guna Karma Vibhagasha. Based on the divisions of guna and karma. Three types of gunas: sattva, rajas, tamas. And karma is according to what baggage you're carrying from the past. Guna and karma, according to that, I have created these 4 divisions, Varna, Chatur, Varnyam. So this is organization in society, social organization. If there is no organization, there is no question of performance. There is no question of gain for all those who have stakeholders, and there is no really benefit for anybody. If you're not organized, you don't get benefit, right? So social organization is there. Although nowadays we have many different types of social organizations that we try, and a lot of it is more failure than success, especially in Kali Yuga. But many of them show some levels of success for some time, and then when a powerful personality comes and organizes it and then pushes it up and then it goes down. That's the history. But this organization is not one of those man-made organizations. It is Chatur Varnyam Maya Srishtam, created by Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, the Supreme Absolute Truth Himself. So it's not something that's going to collapse. It's not going to something that's going to disappear. You may de-recognize it because you anyway de-recognize God. No government, no political situation is ever recognizing God very much. Maybe in our so-called government today, we have some level of, religious proclamation in terms of Hinduism and tolerance towards other types of religions. But basically, we are titled as a secular country, which doesn't profess any one particular type of religion. Okay? So, in societies where they recognize a particular religion, they follow those tenets, and it is melted with the state or with the government. The church and the state were one together in the past in the Western history, you will see. And you will see stories of the Byzantine Empire. You'll see about the Jewish history in Israel, in Jerusalem. You will see about the history of the Romans. You will see all these histories were based on powerful religious base and foundation. In other words, religion was used to govern. And therefore, they found that religion is used for organizing people. Very important for people to get organized based on religion. It's easier to do it. That's what great rulers in the Western world also found. And you'll see in history of Indian world and history of India, the Vedic history, you will see rishis and sages. They were the brahmanas and advisors to the kings who were kshatriyas, keepers of the nation, protectors of the people. So the Kshatriya clan, Chaturvarnyam, that is, and Varna and Ashrama. So Ashrama is meant for spiritual development, and the Varnas are according to Guna Karma Vibhagasha. That is Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Shudra. So the Kshatriyas are the ruling class, the physically powerful, astute, very strategic and very brave and chivalrous and warriors, administrators, police. All these types of people are Kshatriyas because they have that burning passion in them. And they are always advised by the Brahmanas, who are very sattvic, very learned, very equally based, equanimity, and are able to give the Shastras and good advice and help the Kshatriyas as advisors, consultants to lead the general mass of people who are mostly Shudras and Vaishyas. Right? So Kshatriyas are, Brahmanas are a small band, Kshatriyas are a little bigger band, the warriors and the army and everything together. And then the bigger band is the Shudras, and there is a smaller band of Vaishyas. Bigger than the Kshatriyas, but smaller than the Sudras. So bulk of the people are actually ignorant, simple, need guidance. Generally speaking, it's like that. So society, social organization, Krishna is saying, is done by me, and it's automatically done. It's not that somebody has to be whistled for, and so you are a Kshatriya, you're a Shudra. It's not like that. Water finds its level, like the saying goes. So people automatically find their occupation according to their pancha or French word, penchant means your inclinations, your proclivities, how the modes drive you, and you will move towards it anyway. You will see that if you are more of tamoguna, then you'll be more interested in physical activity. You won't be very intelligent, but you're willing to carry out orders. You are always working under somebody's order and getting paid for it. This is the meaning of a less intelligent Shudra. Kinkara, his other name, synonym of Shudra is Kimkara. Kinkarammar, they will say in Kerala. All your servants and all your guys who do jalra for you and listen to you, they say Kinkaras. Kinkara means Kim Karaha, what can I do for you? They are Shudras. So they need money for the work that they do. The mentality of doing work and asking for money is a Shudra mentality. I did work, give me money, give me my salary. And you see, bulk of the people in this world, even though they're educated very well, they go and take a job somewhere, wait for salary. Actually, it's not very intelligent, but they are dependent. They can use their talent, they can use their facility and give it to you, please pay me. Then above that is a Vaishya class, very smart with trade, mercantile people. How to make money, how to get value for goods, exchange, get money and everything. They are basically mercantile. Krishi, Gorakshaka, Vanijyam, Vaishyakarma, Swabhavacham. The Shudra's work is to, serve everybody, the all the other three orders, and the Vaishya is to actually trade and use the Shudras. He employs the Shudras for working. He cultivates the land. He gets the Shudras to work. He gives them all food. He gives them all facilities and maintains them. And he trades in the goods and makes money like that. And he gets money and he gives donations to the Brahmanas and takes their blessings. He pays taxes to the Kshatriyas who are ruling the government. In this way, he has relationship with the higher two orders and he looks after the lower Shudra by giving him what he needs. And his needs are, just food, shelter, and, some little gratification. That's all. He's happy. He doesn't know too many things about subtle enjoyment. He knows only gross enjoyment and he gets that and he's happy with it. Easy to handle. He does Krishi Gorakshaka. He'll be employed in looking after the cows, he'll be employed in agriculture, and he gets his food. He's happy. The Vaishya makes money, then only he's happy. Trading, profit, all that he's happy. The Kshatriya wants control over people, then only he is happy. He taxes them. He gets this thing. But in turn, what he provides for them? Protection. Nobody will attack you. We're protecting the whole country, the whole village, the whole city, the whole town. And we are Kshatriyas for this. We are the policemen. Nobody can attack us from outside. We protect all our people. And for that, we need some taxes to collect from you. From whatever produce you have from your work, give me some percentage of it. So grains, fruits, vegetables, this, that, everything they take as taxes. And they use it for themselves. And they are allowed to have a little gratification because they're Kshatriyas, fiery spirit. They need to fight, they shed blood, they get hurt, everything. So they're giving a little license to enjoy. They'll have a few extra wives and they'll go for hunting. They'll wine and drink and get drunk and they'll eat meat. They'll do all this stuff, Kshatriyas. And they're allowed to do because they're supposed to be in good form always. That is Kshatriyas. Then is the Brahmanas above all the classes. They are very intelligent, the most intelligent, more intelligent than the Kshatriyas. And the Kshatriyas take advice from them for everything. Can we attack like this? Can we attack the neighboring place like this and take over and bring them under? Is the right time to do it? Can you give us the best time to do? Can you do the yaga and homa for us to be victorious? Can you give me a child? Can you do putrakameshti yajna? Yes. All these consultations and everything for the Kshatriyas is coming from the Brahmanas. Brahmanas are very intelligent, very well read. They are consultants for every type of thing. You'll see in the story I told you last time of Ambarish Maharaj and Durvasa Muni. Ambarish Maharaj did Nirjala fasting and he wanted to break the fast next day, but he had Durvasa Muni and his 60,000 disciples as his guest. So he said, no, I cannot eat until he eats, but then at the same time I have to break my fast within a particular time. How shall I do this? He consulted his ministers, his Brahmanical ministers. And they said, you don't have to worry, you can break by drinking water. Your fast is broken, but you have not yet eaten. In this way, you've respected your guest and you've kept up with your fasting time. They gave intelligent solutions like that, like a tax consultant gives you how to, follow, look seemingly like you're following the tax law, plus making your stash, accounting it differently, da 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 da, like that. So the Brahmins are required for consultation like this for Kshatriyas, then for the Grahastha Kshatriyas in their household, for doing all types of samskaras and ceremonies and everything. And they preach God consciousness over the whole kingdom. Tell everybody to go to the temple, do Harinama Sankirtanam, listen to Ramayana, listen to Mahabharata. We want all the citizens to be God-oriented, keep God in the center. This is what the Brahmanas will push the Kshatriyas to do. They'll build temples and they'll keep people. So in this way, people are controlled because of God-fearing tendency in them. And they become pious by doing different types of religious functions. And for all that, the Kshatriyas will give grants and everything. Keep them going religiously, because that is really dharma. Following Varna Ashrama Dharma and instituting it is because it is God's order mentioned. And that is the way society should run. In this way, there is a structure to society, a social structure, very scientifically designed by Krishna. In fact, you may say this is derogatorily titled as caste system. It's because all the Britishers and all of them, the Mughals before that also, they tore it apart, they destroyed it, they polluted the Brahmanas with all sorts of addictions and temptations, and the Brahmanas fell down, and the Brahmanas are considered to be the head of society. The Shudras are the legs, and the Kshatriyas are the hands, and the Vaishyas are the torso. So that's the physical structure. If the head goes, nothing operates. But if the legs go, still there is operation with the hands. If the hands go, still you can manage some extent with the legs and the torso and the head. But if the head goes, everything goes. So if the Brahminical culture falls down, everything is finished. So in Kali Yuga, first thing that Mr. Kali did was to break the Brahmins. That's where everything happens. You will see even Ravana attack the Brahmins, stop the sacrifices, attack them, harass them, stop them from performing. Because if the head is finished, structure is finished, then I can take over. Same thing Hiranyakashipu did, Ravana did. And you will see even great personalities attacked. You will see during Kali, you will see Kali Yuga, Kali attacked Shringi, and he did the first cursing of the great Parikshit Maharaj. And his father regretted, why did you do that? He's an emperor, why did you curse him? In this way, Kali entered, it is mentioned, through pollution of the first Brahmana, Shringi. And then you will see that the Brahmanas got bought off. They became weak. They had all sorts of weaknesses, affairs. They had money and women's involvement. And then the Britishers, it's mentioned that they got hold of the Brahmanas and paid them a lot of money and said, tell us from the scriptures where, what it is. And then they revealed everything, how the whole society operates. They revealed the Varnashrama system, their social structure, the Chaturvarnyam, everything they revealed to them. And then they started hitting at the root. Robert Clive understood from the Brahmanas whom he had hired, and they gave everything, said, everything rests in Vedic culture on the cow. The cow is the centerpiece. And from the cow you get milk. From the milk you get ghee. And that ghee is used in this powerful yajnas for propitiating the demigods. They give you rains, right? And because of those rains, parjanyat, yajnat bhavati parjanyo, yajnat karma samudbhava. And those yajnas are described in the Vedas. And this is how we are getting our whole, food and everything is a perfect structure and a perfect scientific thing. So, true to being in Kali Yuga, Robert Clive set the first slaughterhouse for cows in India. He understood this whole mechanism and he broke it further. First, he broke the Brahmanas and then the cows. He made Indians kill the cows. And today they are killing happily with no feeling at all. So Brahmins and cows, they make the foundation. Not caste brahmanas, not the fallen brahmanas that we are talking about. These brahmanas talking about are not fallen brahmanas of Kali Yuga. They are very independent. They're not dependent on anybody but Krishna, but the scripture and the knowledge. Their weapon is knowledge. Weapon is knowledge, Brahmana. And they will work for society and maintain people, and they don't want anything for themselves. They're very detached, austere. You can't bribe them. See, Chanakya Pandit is one example in recent times, maybe a powerful Brahmana. You can see Chandragupta Maurya's period, who was his minister. And from the young age, he was tutored and he saw all sorts of atrocities committed by the Kshatriya kings who were, completely irresponsible, not executing their duties. So he brought up Chandragupta Maurya right from when he was 6 years old itself. And he trained him up. And then he fought with all the Kshatriyas who were fallen Kshatriyas. So he set them on war one against the other very strategically. It's a Machiavellian, moves he made, and they were, terrorized by him. He had no weapons, no army, no sitting, nothing. But he would just use his brains and talk to them and talk to them and talk to them and put one against the other. And they started warring against and they killed themselves. And he destroyed a lot of them. The story of Nanda, how he did the needful to Nanda and then how he installed Chandragupta Maurya is very interesting. So Chandragupta Maurya, he came as the king. And it is mentioned that the Guptas, golden period of the Guptas is mentioned. And in that you will see that at one point of time, Chandragupta Maurya thought that he's become very big, he's the king. And he spoke to Chanakya Pandit in a little slightly different view. He said that you have made me king, you've done a lot to me, I want to do something for you. So I want you to stay in my palace. I will vacate the palace and build another one for myself. I want to reward you with this palace. So Chandragupta Maurya looked at him and he knew that this guy is going off the track. So he said, I want no palace. I will continue to stay in my hut like I'm doing now behind the palace. And I don't need your gift of the palace. And beware, don't think I'll fall for this palace reward from you. You better do things exactly as is mentioned in the scripture, as per what I tell you in advice and our counsel tells. If you don't, right, I will do the same thing to you like Nanda and everybody else. I won't think that you're my favorite Chandragupta Maurya. I think you may be slightly going off the track. I don't need your gift. Get back to your palace. I'll continue to stay in my hut because by accepting this palace as a gift from you, I will become colored. I will become obliged to you. And I don't want to do that. I remain the same person. If you also do the same wrong, you'll also be thrown out. Chandragupta Maurya was so afraid hearing that. He went back, very thoughtful, checked, corrected. This is a Brahmana. You can't tempt him with any material thing. He knows the truth. You can even kill him. They'll say, I'm ready to die. I will not go away from these principles. So that is a powerful personality. You can't bribe him. You can't make him fall down in any way. Hugh Walpole, he said, every man has his price. I heard this when I was helping in the legal ministry in ISKCON, fighting something in the court. And I went to one very famous advocate in Bangalore. And he told me that, judgments in India, how they work and this and that, and lawyers, what they do and everything. He explained how it works and how he said that lots of corruption happens in the client's side especially. And then sometimes it creeps into the judiciary and creeps into the lawyers and everything. He said, everybody knows one thing, this quote of Hugh Walpole, every man has his price, right? At some point of time when you up it and say, I'll give you so much, I'll give you this, I'll give you that, at some place they'll get attracted and fall down and get tempted. But a Brahmana is a person, you can't do that to him. He's fixed in the absolute. That's a real Brahmana, not today's Brahmanas. They are called Dvija Bandhu. Dvija Bandhu means a very derogatory term. Dvija Bandhu means a friend of a Brahmana, but not a Brahmana. Means this man was a Brahmana, but he's fallen down to the level of being a friend of a Brahmana, which is a very derogatory way of addressing a Brahmana. Dvija Bandhu. When Sudama went to Krishna's place, Rukmani's place, and he was coming back, he was thinking, I am a Dvija Bandhu. I am a fallen Brahmana, and Krishna welcomed me so wonderfully. Kwa aham daridrapa piyan kwa Krishna si niketana Brahma Bandhu iti smaham bahubhyam parirambita. I called himself Brahmana Bandhu, fallen Brahmana. They are addressed as Brahma Bandhu. So, Brahmanas of these days are mostly this Dvija Bandhus, Brahmana Bandhus, fallen Brahmanas. They just call themselves Brahmanas on the basis of their thread they have, or I'm born in a Brahmin family, that's all. That's all very low class, Kali Yuga Brahmanas. They are no more Brahmanas actually. They just hold on to the thread of the title that I am from a Brahmin cult, Brahmin family, Brahmin lineage, would say Brahmin tribe, they say. So genuine Brahmanas are very rare, but they are the head of the society. So this is where society is structured, because everybody should move towards becoming spiritually oriented. Dharma, Artha, Kama, Moksha. And everybody should secure mukti and moksha in life and not be stuck in the material world, eking out a living, doing some karma, earning some benefit, enjoying some gratification of the senses, and having a total short-sighted view of human life and missing the fantastic chance in human life to acquire success and the goal of life, mukti. So, dharma, artha, kama, moksha. This social structure of Brahmanas, Kshatriyas, Vaishyas, Shudras, and then the ashramas of Brahmachari, Grihastha, Vanaprastha, and Sannyas, they are all meant mainly for gaining gradual interest in spirituality and developing love for Krishna, and then becoming devotees, and then at the time of death remembering Krishna and going back to Godhead and perfecting yourself. Antakale cha mameva smaran muktva kalevaram ya prayati samad bhavam. Krishna is saying at the end of life you must be able to think of me. That is successful. If you've trained your living like that. So this social structure makes it very easy for us to do that, because that is the goal of life. Krishna himself designed the social structure. We have neglected that. The Kali Yuga has broken it, and the instruments were the Britishers and the Mughals and all fallen Brahmanas, everybody together. The Brahminical community, the fallen Brahmanas, are the worst enemies of the actual spiritual culture. You will see that during the time of Lord Chaitanya, Lord Chaitanya started the Harinam Sankirtan movement, because it's the Yuga Dharma of the age, and he is Krishna himself. Then you know what? The Muslims didn't say anything about it. They were all the rulers at that time. They said, yeah, do your kirtan, bhajan, it's okay. That's your way of doing religion, go ahead. But the Brahmins, who were fallen Brahmins, who were not interested in the real purpose of the Vedas, who were making a lot of money by doing homa, samskara, this thing, material benefit according to karma kandas, they found Lord Chaitanya's movement very challenging. And they found many people are going and taking part in it because it's Sankirtan and Prasadam and philosophy and the real purpose mentioned in the Bhagavad Gita and the Bhagavat and all that, because it's God himself who has come to do it. Lord Chaitanya is none other than Krishna himself. So they got disturbed that all our falsity will be exposed. People will come to know too much. They'll get to know the Shastra. They'll get to know the real purpose of the Shastra. And it's very dangerous for our profession. So they went and complained to the Muslim king and said, this is not Hinduism. This man is spoiling everybody. And we are very disturbed. You better do something about it. So since the powerful Brahmins in society were also respected by the religious Muslims, they took what they say to be true. And this new movement started by Lord Chaitanya. They went and ordered, okay, we'll do something. They went and ordered and broke all the mridangas and threatened those doing, anybody does any kirtan anymore, you'll be finished. But the persons who made the Muslims do it are the Brahmins. And then Lord Chaitanya he knew what was happening. So it says in history, he started the first civil disobedience movement. Hearing this, he became very angry because he has come to establish Harinama Sankirtana as the Yuga Dharma. And by chanting the holy name of Krishna, very easily, the most fallen person, the most ignorant person, will actually gain love of Godhead and go back to Godhead like a shortcut beyond all the so called processes, dharma, artha, kama, moksha, and all. Even beyond moksha, they'll get love of God. So God Himself has come in Kali Yuga to institute it as the easy process of religion. So he became very angry, hearing that the mridangas have been broken, some devotees have been harassed and physically dealt with. He became extremely disturbed and angry. He said, "Now I'll show you what will happen to a person who touches the Sankirtan movement of mine." So he called huge masses of people. Thousands of people gathered with torches lit up. And they did huge kirtan, completely disobeying the Muslim Mughal Nawab's order. And they marched towards his palace with all these torches and everything. And Lord Chaitanya was there in the front leading the kirtan. He said, "Let me see who comes forth. What will he do?" And all his devotees joined together. It was the biggest civil disobedience movement. And they came in huge kirtan. And the night before, in the Nawab Hussain, at the palace, the king, that night, Lord Narsimha came in his dream. He appeared in his room, sat on his chest while he was sleeping on the bed. And he got so afraid watching his teeth and his fiery lion face. He sat on his chest and he said, "You dare stop the Sankirtan movement? See what I'll do to you. I am that same Allah you worship." And he scratched his chest. So that Nawab got up in the morning, was shivering with fear because he looked into the mirror and saw all scratches all over his body. Big nails of Narasimhadev had scratched him. He was terrified. And he was remembering that. And he was shivering and waiting. And lo and behold, the evening comes, Lord Chaitanya with this huge marching. He came to the palace and they were doing huge kirtan. And he was hiding under the cot, the Nawab. He was so much afraid. He was very afraid. Then Lord Chaitanya, very beautifully, told all of them to wait, not enter the palace and do kirtan. And he alone, in his very beautiful form, long hair, and he was a Brahmin family, as a famous Jagannath Mishra and Sachi Mata's son, grown up to be so powerful and spreading Harinam Sankirtan and the philosophy for the age of Kali. He walked inside the palace beautifully and personally met with the Nawab. The Nawab was so afraid. And he was very nice to the Nawab. He said, "We both belong to the same village. Your father and my father were friends. They're as good as cousins. And therefore, I am your brother." In this way, he addressed the Nawab so sweetly. And he looked so beautiful that the Nawab completely melted by seeing the beautiful form of the Lord. And then there was a very nice discussion as to why are you doing this? This is mentioned in the scripture. And then Lord Chaitanya and the Nawab started discussing. And he found such a wonderful dialogue came out of it. And he loved it so much because Chaitanya Mahaprabhu very nicely clarified for him everything. Lord Chaitanya also asked him, "Why do you eat the cow? It's very sinful." Then he said, "No, you guys also do this. I've seen the Brahmins sacrifice a cow." And then he said, "No, the Shastra, it's mentioned like this." And I thought it's mentioned like, no, it's a whole nice, beautiful discussion. And the Nawab understood so many wonderful things about the Vedic Shastra, which he had never understood earlier from the Brahmins. It made a lot of sense to him because it is in keeping with the Quran about the one supreme personality of Godhead, whom we call Allah and you call Krishna. And then he liked it so much that he became a devotee of Lord Chaitanya. Even today, there is the Samadhi it's called the Chand Kazi Samadhi, where this particular Kazi, the religious head also, he was buried together there And there is a beautiful plant of the neem tree and the champaka tree growing together from the same roots. Very auspicious. Neem tree is where Lord Chaitanya was born. This champaka tree, his samadhi also entwines with it. It's a very holy place. So Lord Chaitanya talked to him so beautifully and came to a very nice, he said, never again in the history will there be any stoppage to the Harinam Sankirtan. You please go ahead and do. I like it so much. And he became a great friend of Lord Chaitanya. He became his devotee, his follower. And since then, in Bengal, you will see all the Muslims support Harinam Sankirtan everywhere. It's a great history of Lord Chaitanya meeting with this Muslim king. So you will see that the Brahmins are the worst enemies of Vedic culture sometimes. Even during the Christian era, you will see the Jews in the synagogues, the high priests, they are the ones who complained about Jesus Christ to the Romans. And the Romans did not want to do anything to him. They're just a religious guy, just having a group of people. We don't care. He's not claiming anything, no land, no this thing, no influence. He has no money, nothing. Let him go and do what he wants. There were lots of people like that here and there. Jesus was not the only one. When it became a little too much, they would crucify them. So they didn't want to do anything. Pontius Pilate was the Roman general. His wife was a great admirer of Jesus Christ. She was following him. So he sort of didn't want to do anything to Jesus Christ. But these high priests, in whose same synagogue Jesus Christ used to preach and they used to appreciate him, the moment he had a large following, they all went against him. Because their positions and their profession and their so-called mileage, everything was getting lost and he was becoming very popular. So they wanted him dead. It's a great competition to us. But actually he was really talking about God and people were getting attracted to him. And he was pointing out all the mistakes that these people were doing. They've become an organized religion which has completely lost its purpose. It's become money-oriented, position-oriented. It's all lost itself in everything. So they went and complained to Pontius Pilate and told him, take him in. Take him in. And Pontius Pilate sent his people. And it is Jesus Christ's own follower, Judas Iscariot, who actually reveals who is Jesus Christ to the Romans. Because everybody looks alike, they don't know. Nobody knows who is Jesus Christ. The Romans don't know. So it is his own follower, Judas Iscariot, who actually reveals who is Jesus and gets him. And they beat him up and they take him. And the chief priest tells him that, bring him first to us. We want to ask him some questions. And in this way, it is the high priest of the Jews who gave the greatest punishment to real religion. That is Jesus Christ talking about the Supreme Lord and love for the Lord and, love thy Lord with all thy heart and all thy soul. He was actually teaching them to be lovers of God. Of course, now, Christianity, it's called, it's become completely warped and the teachings are different. Just like in Hinduism also, you'll see everything is warped and something else is being spoken about. So these fallen Brahmins sometimes become the greatest enemies of Krishna consciousness or Bhagavad Dharma. So the social structure is very important. And revival of that original religion is what is Lord Chaitanya saying. So Varnashrama Dharma may not be so easily possible in Kali Yuga because of the nature of people and the standard of people and their following and their capacities. Mandha sumanda matayo mandabhagyahi padrutaha. So that's why Lord Krishna himself has come and started this movement of Harinama Sankirtana. Read the essence of the Vedic literatures, the Bhagavad Gita, the Srimad Bhagavatam, and practice the chanting of the holy name. Directly practice the essence of the instructions given in the Vedic literature. That is Bhagavad Gita and Bhagavad. If you read, it's enough. You'll get the entire essence. The secret essence, the confidential information has been brought out by Lord Chaitanya. The love of the Vrindavana Vasis, the wonderful pastimes of Krishna in his rasas of Vatsalya Rasa, Sakya Rasa, Madhurya Rasa, and all those things are propagated. So if you simply chant, take prasadam, worship Krishna, read Bhagavatam and Bhagavad Gita and the association of devotees, and do Harinam Sankirtan, That is the religion for this age. And Varnashrama Dharma may not be fully possible, but yes, it is definitely possible. That structure will work. Even today, you will see the intelligent class of people are teachers, professors, scientists, and all of them. And the Kshatriyas are people who take part in the army, in the ruling, in the politics, and everything. And then Vaishyas are businessmen. You will see business has become a huge cadre of people. And a lot of people take jobs. They're all Shudras actually, including the IT guys who go for a job with a big salary. All the mentality is I do my work, give me my pay. So that mentality, people are still there. That classification still exists. Society is made with the proportions change a little bit. But people tend to do those things according to guna karma vibhagasha. That's true even today because it is scientifically based. And if we do recognize it, it will be great. So Prabhupada's movement, he said that I've done 50% of my job of instituting the foundation of spiritual culture, devotional culture, bhakti and everything. Now we should put the framework of Varnashrama. So he said, you people have to do that. I don't have time to do that. So ISKCON is charged with the responsibility of Daiva Varnashrama system, how to do it, how to institute it, and gradually encourage everybody in bhakti towards Krishna consciousness. So here in Coimbatore, we are setting up a community based on that framework of Varnashrama. So that around a temple, we'll build a community of people. And the community consists of different types of people. Little people who do labor class of work, and some people who are intelligent and they can do that. But there's no distinction between intelligence and this in terms of bhakti and devotional service. We are all on the same plane, all are spirit soul. When we come to the platform of rendering service to Krishna, there is no Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Shudra. Because like Prabhupada says in the purport here, a devotee is even greater than a Brahmana, higher level than a Brahmana, right? So bringing everybody to a much higher level is an opportunity given by the Krishna consciousness movement. And within that is a structure that is devotionally based, bhakti-based Varnashrama Dharma. And whoever you are, Shudra, Vaishya, Kshatriya, Brahmana, you get equally an opportunity to move up. And sometimes the Shudra will go much more in devotion than the Brahmana also does. And those stories you've heard a lot. You've heard a story of Kanakadas, the Vaishya, and how he became a devotee. Fantastic stories. You heard the story of Surdas, the blind Surdas. You heard the story of Prahalad, who was a demon's son, born in a demoniac family. What to speak about Shudra family, right? All of them are great devotees. Bali Maharaj, born in a demon family, became a devotee. So becoming a devotee out of taking bhakti is open even to demons. What to speak of Shudras? Striyo Vaishya Tata Shudra Seyanti Paramgati. You may be a woman, you may be a Shudra, you may be disadvantaged, you may think, but for all of them, the opportunities are equal, including the Brahmana. And many Brahmanas of this age, they are drunken with the feeling that I am Brahmin, and they don't take up pure devotional service to Krishna as mentioned in Bhagavad Gita. But many Shudras and everybody all over the world, in the Western world, people are becoming pure devotees, even better than the Brahmanas, right? So this is real religion. There's no distinction of you in the terms of your caste. This is a transcendental movement. In fact, it is transcendent even to Brahmana, Vaishya, Kshatriya, Shudra, right? So this is the essence of religion. This is the essence of the Bhagavad Gita. You can become a devotee of Krishna. You will be the topmost person in terms of Krishna's assessment. So please chant Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Worship Krishna in your house, offer him food, take prasadam, read Bhagavatam and Bhagavad Gita, do Kirtan Bhajan, keep in touch with devotees, and you will be more successful. Om Tat Sat. Hare Krishna. Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Thank you very much. If you have any questions, we'll be very happy to answer them for you. Any questions? Oops. How does this work? Okay. Okay, how does this work? I'm sorry. Oops. Right. Any questions anybody has? We'll be happy to answer it for you or try to answer it for you. And any comments you may have or anything you want to add to what I've said, if I've missed out anything, we'll be very happy to hear it from you.
Hare Krishna.
Is there a child going to ask a question? Wow, you see, I told you there's no distinction. Even children, they've understood. Yeah.
Hare Krishna Maharaj.
Yeah.
Pranams Maharaj. Maharaj, actually, we heard a Gopashtami lecture, Maharaj. In that, can I ask some question, Maharaj?
Yes.
Maharaj, now they say that cows, they say this is Jersey cow, that cow, this cow, and all. Like we have to differentiate like that, or cow is a cow, so we can pray every cow like that.
Well, we don't differentiate in terms of giving protection to cows. The differentiation is only for very medical purposes and purity purposes. Some people feel that the milk that you get from pure breed cows, highly medicinal, very useful for your health. It's A2 milk, and that's the type of ghee you should take, and that's very good, etc., etc. Then another thing is that these Jersey cows and all these cows, they all land up in the slaughterhouse afterwards. They're not really protected cows. Most of these people, very dangerous. They trade in cows, they suck its milk out, and they just drain it out. And they no more can give milk, it's old. They'll send it to the slaughterhouse and make money out of it. So there are dairies like that. So we in ISKCON are promoting ahimsa milk now. Many of our devotees don't like to drink the regular milk coming from the dairies, where they are treating the cows very badly, not protecting them, and forcing the cow to give milk in a particular way, and then keeping the calf away. A lot of violence. Then finally send the cow to the slaughterhouse. So the cow is considered to be the mother, as you know, one of the 7 mothers, and should be treated like a mother. And where there is cow protection, Krishna is very pleased, and you'll have everything in plentiful. There'll be great prosperity. That's a gift. The cow is a gift to human society. Brahmanas and cows are very important. Not caste Brahmanas. I mean Brahmanas, the original Brahmanas. Those type of people should be protected. Those who are serving Krishna and don't have anything else to do, but just bothered about society and giving their life and energy, they should be looked after by the rest of the society. Because anyway, for looking after them, there's nothing much they demand. So people are eager to be of service to such people, eager to serve the Brahmanas, eager to serve the cow, because they get so much benefit from the cow and the Brahmanas. And they don't ask for anything in return. So on a good sense of a personal one-to-one relationship with the cow, everybody learns to love the cow. You know, it's mentioned there, when you see a cow, you must pay obeisances, you must go around and tickle the cow and feed it something, and you must, pay obeisance to the cow, because the cow is very dear to Krishna. And it is the embassy of all the demigods in that. And lots of things are happening in the cow. All produce of the cow, including the urine, the dung, everything is super medicinal and valuable. That even scientists all over the world agree with. And in America, they're trying to patent the urine, cow urine, I heard, the dung, so many things I heard about. Right? So this is the tradition in India. This is the tradition. This is Vedic tradition. So therefore, coming in that tradition now in Kali Yuga, you have crossbreeds, and then you have that breed and this breed, and so that they'll grow bigger and they'll give more flesh when you slaughter them. There's all sorts of things, crazy demoniac things. Whatever it is the cow has gone through, in terms of protection, we protect all cows. Because cow protection is not for just getting the milk. We protect the cow becomes happy, and then in happiness it gives milk. That milk is very healthy. That's Vedic tradition. That's why you will see Krishna is associated with the cows. Goloka, Vrindavana, Gopashtami. His planet is called Goloka. It's so important, cow. So you don't differentiate. In Kali Yuga, there are all sorts of permutations and combinations of these things. And some people, profess to be cow protectors so that they'll get your sympathy and you buy their milk. But on the backside, they're doing all sorts of things. So nowadays, we go to the dairy and see how they are maintaining. We take only milk from those people who are actually protecting cows, and they are very rich and well-to-do. But their business is to simply protect cows, spend their money and protect cows. What milk they get, we take from them because the cows are protected cows. That's called ahimsa milk. And we also tell all our devotees and followers to please protest against violence of the cows and tell them, I won't drink your milk if you maintain the cows like this. That message go across to them. I won't drink your milk. Of course, there are hotels and restaurants to buy that milk in plenty. But, people, a cow movement is started all over the world, actually. Many people are there who want speaking about animal rights, and although they are not devotees also, they speak about animal rights and speak about rights for non-violence against animals, and they have joined us in many places. But of course, there's a vegan movement which takes it a little too much and says you should not even touch the milk of the cow. But the milk of the cow, as per Vedic tradition, is meant for nourishing the brain of the human being so that he can understand spiritual subject matter. And the cow is willingly giving that milk to that person who's protecting him. All rishis and sages in every house had a cow that will be looked after very well. And the cow is part of the family. The cow is the mother. Everybody will go to the cow and whisper in its ears. I was told recently by one Ayurvedic doctor to go, if you have any ailment, since you have a cow in your goshala, you go and the cow's ears and the horns are Ashwini Kumara's residences who are in charge of medicine. So you should go and whisper in the ears of the cow, this is my ailment and this is what I'm suffering from. And then you go around the cow and you drink the milk of the cow, the urine of the cow. The cow is understood, and what milk and urine it gives will directly cure you. It's a specialized, tailor-made medicine for you because you went and told in the ears. This is tradition. It's so amazing, these things. So cow means so many things, very valuable, very precious to our culture and to sustenance, materially, spiritually, devotionally. So therefore, we should protect the cow, whether it is Jersey cow or this cow or whatever, protection we should give, right? I hope I've answered your question or answered more than necessary. Okay, Sharada, Aishwarya. Anybody else has got a question?
Thank you, Maharaj. Hare Krishna, Maharaj.
Yes. Anybody else has got a question? Okay. Good night. Sweet dreams of Krishna. Hare Krishna.
Hare
Thank you,
Krishna,
Maharaj.
Maharaj. Thank you, Maharaj.